The night shift. It was a cold November evening, and I had just started my new job at a small 24-hour convenience store. The place was tucked away on the outskirts of town, not much foot traffic during the night, which I thought would make the job easier. It seemed like a quiet place, almost too quiet. The first few hours of my shift went by uneventfully. A couple of customers came in, grabbed cigarettes or a snack, and quickly left. By midnight, it was just me, the flickering fluorescent lights. I sat behind the counter, scrolling through my phone, trying to ignore the uneasy feeling settling in my chest. Something about this night felt off, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Around 2 a.m., the automatic door slid open with a hiss. A man stepped in, soaking wet from the rain that had started pouring outside. He wore an old, tattered hoodie, his face obscured by the shadows of the hood. His movements were slow, deliberate, almost too calm for someone caught in the downpour. "Evening," I greeted him, my voice breaking the silence. He didn't respond. He just shuffled through the aisles, stopping occasionally to pick up items, only to put them back on the shelves. Every now and then, I caught him glancing at me, but he never said a word. It wasn't uncommon for people to come in late at night, but something about this guy unnerved me. His silence, his slow movements. After a few minutes, he finally approached the counter. I expected him to place down something, maybe pay for a snack, but instead, he just stood there. His eyes dark, cold, stared right through me. "Can I help you?" I asked, trying to sound polite, but feeling the tension rise in my gut. Still, he didn't say anything. His face twisted into a slight smile, but it wasn't friendly. It was the kind of smile that made your skin crawl. My hands instinctively moved to the emergency button under the counter, the one we were told to press if we felt threatened. And then, as he sensed my uneasiness, he leaned in closer, his voice low and raspy. "You're all alone here, huh?" The way he said it made my heart skip a beat. He wasn't asking out of curiosity. It felt more like a statement. A warning. I forced a smile, trying to keep my cool. "Yes, actually," I replied quickly, hoping he'd just leave. But he didn't. Instead, he stepped back and slowly began pacing around the store again, his eyes never leaving me. It was then that I noticed something strange. Every time he passed by the store's security cameras, his image flickered on the monitor. At first, I thought it was just the rain interfering with the feed, but as I watched him more closely, I realized he didn't show up on the cameras at all. Every time he walked in front of one, the screen went blank. I felt a chill run down my spine. For the next half hour, the man didn't buy anything, didn't leave. He just wandered the aisles, occasionally looking at me with an unnerving smile. I thought about calling the police, but what would I say? A creepy guy wasn't a crime. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he stopped in front of the door, looked back at me one last time and murmured, "I'll see you soon." And with that, he walked out into the storm. The automatic doors closed behind him, but they didn't shut. They hissed open again as if someone else was coming in, but no one did. That's when the phone behind the counter rang. It startled me, and I fumbled to pick it up. It was the manager, his voice groggy, like I had just woken him up. "Hey, everything okay there?" he asked. I hesitated, unsure of what to say. "Yeah, just a weird customer, but that's fine." Then There was a pause on the other end of the line. "You're sure you're okay?" he asked again, this time his voice more serious. "Because I just got a call from the guy doing the shift before you. He swears he saw someone standing outside the store staring in at you. But when I checked the security footage, there was no one there." I froze. My eyes darted to the security monitor. The man's face wasn't just missing from the footage. The last 10 minutes of the recording were completely black. The call ended with a click, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. I quickly locked the doors, but even as I stood there, alone in the empty store, I had the unsettling sense that I wasn't alone. To this day, I still work that night shift, and every time it rains, I glance at the door, half expecting him to come back, because in the silence of the night, I can still hear his voice. "I'll see you again." Hello everyone, this is Lonebird speaking, and today marks the start of my storytelling journey. I would like to thank all of you who watched, or more like listened to the end, and I hope all of you enjoyed the short story. If you have any suggestions, requests, or stories of your own that you would like me to share or read, please email me. And once again, thank you for listening to the end. I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Till next time, Lonebird.